This crash damaged E63 was purchased from a salvage auction with damage all over and an engine that didn't start. This was going to be our toughest build to date. In our previous video, after spending many hours fault finding, we managed to start the car. We removed the engine and gearbox, and this brings us to the real issue, the damaged flitch. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the flitch. As you guys know, we have got some noticeable damage to the flitch. It is quite badly bent, and that is going to affect the structure and the alignment of the car. And if we don't fix this properly, it could lead to major issues down the line. Right, so we are actually ready to start pulling now. We've got a car nice and secure at the back. We've got the dollies at the bottom as well. And we've got it all aligned up with the posts at the back and the front.
So you're going to get the chain connected up. We've got a clamp in place. So you can see right here where the main impact is. What we're going to do is we're going to heat it up and start pulling it out and start releasing all that stress right there. So the reason why we're actually doing this before we put the new panel on is we're trying to get all that pressure release, which is around the back area right there. So we're trying to just release it before we put that new panel right on.
We heated the panel to help release stress and make it easier to pull. After pulling the chassis forwards, we had to reposition the car and pull the chassis outwards. We have two bars that do sit on top of the chassis, and we need to get the holes in the bars to align with the holes of the flitch. Once we got those to align, our screws should fit straight in, and this shows that we have the alignment correct.
So you pull the chassis now, so use the two bars that were here to give us a rough reference of where that chassis should actually be. So that's all done now, and we've got a donor piece right there.
Yeah guys, so we did pay £300 for this flitch, which is not a bad price, and it did come with all the bits and bobs as well. Like you got this bracket here, R1's broken, as well as that pipe. We're going to be using that. If we take a look underneath the arch, you've got the alarm box just there and this plastic cover. So all these little bits and bobs, guys, it is a bonus that the fact that it comes with the flitch. I think it's going to be saving us maybe a couple £100 in parts. So yeah guys, the flitch, the next step is going to be to actually plan out our cuts. So if you take a look underneath the seam sealer, we have got spot welds underneath there, and what we need to do is kind of plan out how we're going to actually drill out these spot welds on this flitch. Once we figured it out, we'll do the same thing on the car itself, and then that way all we got to do is literally just switch the old panel for the new one and just weld it in place.
And the reason why we're actually working on this flitch first is because it's on the floor and it's easy to work around, and we know what we're exactly doing. I mean, it's a bit more harder up here, so we'd rather work on this than we know what we're doing. Then obviously once we're ready, we'll start removing this flitch right here.
So we start off by stripping all the parts off the flitch. We then removed the sealer using a mini chisel. This took us a very long time, as there was a lot of sealer on the flitch. Not only do we have to remove the sealer, we have to also expose the spot welds so we know exactly where we're going to be doing our drilling. So we used a drill with a brush on there to expose the spot welds. It's now time to start drilling out the spot welds. This is another painstakingly long process which saw us go through many drill bits. We used a blowtorch to loosen up the glue between the panels. With our first panel off, we had many more to go. So we just got done drilling out the donor flitch. As you can see, guys, we have drilled out all the spot welds along here, all along this side as well, going all the way to the bottom of the flitch. So this is the flitch that we are going to be welding onto our car. So Z's just here now. He has removed quite a bit of seam sealer. If you take a look down here, guys, all this region there was a bunch of seam sealer. It's all been removed. I think the seam sealer removal did take us quite a bit of time, didn't it, Z?
Yeah, there's a special bush you actually buy, and it actually eats through the seam sealer. It's like a wire brush, and it spins and it gets rid of that seam sealer really quick. It's not easy to actually get hold of that tool, so yeah, so we're struggling a bit. We got through most of it. There's not much left to do.
Yeah, I think for the future we definitely need to buy that tool, don't we?
Yeah, definitely, man. The snap-on guy actually had one. I think it was for like £700-800, and I go to him, I'll take it, and I think he sold it.
Yeah,
something along them lines
because
happened.
we still got to do the pan roof, and on top of that we got to do the quarter panel as well. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely to do the roof and the quarter panel. By then we should hopefully have one by then. But for now we're using this snap-on scraper right here, which is really good. You can just scrape away at the seam sealer and it just tears it apart. So we've started on the flitch right now. We've removed some of the seam sealer. This is the way the panels actually join in the factory. You can see all these spot welds right here. So this is how they all assembled together. So the only cut we actually did was, which is right here, on this section right here, because there's two spot welds underneath and there's no way of actually getting to them. We need to get that door removed as well. There's two spot welds in there. We'll have to remove the door. We can't get access to it.
Yeah, guys, so the same way we removed this flitch off the donor panel, we're going to be doing the exact same removal on the flitch that's on the car. So we're going to be drilling in the exact same place and then hopefully weld this new piece on there. With the old flitch removed, lineaging the new flitch is vital to making sure we get solid welds. So the old flitch is finally off. As you can see, guys, it is quite badly damaged. Sitting next to it is the new flitch. This has all been prepped up and ready to go. We have lineaged off all the excess glue and the silicone that was there. So this is all prepped and ready to be fitted on.
So guys, this is a crucial part and one of the important parts of the build. Once you get that flitch on, we need to make sure it's actually 100%. So the things that we're actually using is this tremor gauge right here. And we've also got readings from another E63, and these are the dimensions that we're going to actually be using. We also got these two bars right here that sit on the dry side flitch. We've got the subframe, the crash bar on the front panel. We're going to fit all them up and make sure the alignment's 100%. Once it's 100% and we start welding, there's no going back.
So this is the weld-through primer that we use. This will basically protect all the bare metal from rusting, and it will also allow us to get solid welds. We place the flitch on the car and attach the subframe, the top bars and the slam panel. Using our tram gauge and measurements, we took off another E63. We did point-to-point readings to make sure the flitch is positioned correctly. Once we were happy, we used self-tapping screws to hold the flitch in place, and now it's time to start welding. With enough welds to hold the flitch in place, we remove the self-tapping screws.
we are slowly getting there now. We have got the wing fitted up as well as the bonnet. The alignment is slightly off on that wing on the bonnet, guys. One thing we realized is the hinges that we are using, they're a bit damaged. They were the ones that obviously were on the car from before, so we're going to have to purchase new hinges. So if you take a look inside, guys, we have got everything fitted up. You've got the subframe back there, you've got the slam panel, you got all the strut bars that sit across the top of the flitch. And yeah, everything's lining up as it should be. You guys saw us use the Dremel gauge to, measure our gaps from side to side. Everything is as it's meant to be. The only thing letting us down is obviously the bonnet hinges, which we are going to be replacing later on. So guys, now it's actually time to start removing both wings, the bonnet, the subframe, the front panel, and start prepping up that flitch. So we're going to grind down all the welds and get it ready for the seam sealer. Once that's been all laid down, then we're pretty much ready to start getting in the spray booth and start painting it all up. So as you guys can see, we have applied the seam sealer. So we got black seam sealer right here and also the white one. So the reason being is because we ordered the black one and it started using a lot of seam sealer whilst we were applying it. So we actually eventually ran out of it. So we had some white one lying around, so we used that and just finished it all off. So right here, guys, as you can see, we've got the lines right here. So you're working with it and also, putting the lines in. So what we decided, which wasn't really a good idea, was to apply it all, then go around it and just put the lines in. So by the time we got around to it, it started drying up and it's pulling the seam sealer, so you couldn't really get the lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the future we need to buy the actual guns. If you take a look here, guys, we have bought these off eBay. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using these guns for seam sealer because it just wouldn't allow the seam sealer to come out. So we had to use the Milwaukee gun that we normally use for the windscreen. That did a pretty decent job. And as you can see, guys, we have got like a flat nozzle to get that factory finish, but it still didn't really give us that finish, did it?
Nah.
But I think in the future we have to get the proper equipment to get the factory finish.
Yeah, 100%, guys.
So now we need to actually wheel this car into the spray booth, don't we?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get bring the ramp down, get the dollies in, and also there's a lot of stuff in the spray booth of the car that needs to be taken out. So we ain't really got much space in the workshop, so that's why we actually put most of the stuff there.
So this is the state of the spray booth. As you can see, we have got loads of parts lying around. We're going to have to empty this room out and wheel in the E63. So it is the next day, guys, and check it out. The paint is nice and dry. He's doing a really good job with the paint, guys. This is a massive job out of the way, and yeah, it's come out a lot more glossy than what we were expecting it to. But do you know what, guys? Most of these pans will be getting covered anyway, so you won't really see much of this gloss anyways.
So next step is obviously on the next video. We're going to get the engine box in, the suspension in, and the front panel and the rad pack. Once that's all in, it's got the fresh fluids inside there. We could actually keep it running for a bit.
Yeah, guys, so that is the plan for the next video, hopefully building up the full front end. So join us on the next video for that. So we are going to end this video here, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.